Good morning. I'm Dr. Wilson Pearl, Associate Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship of KCS Kasnada College of Arts and Science. Chapter which is amalgamation, absorption, and external reconstruction. Let us see what is amalgamation first. When two liquidated companies join together to form a new company is called amalgamation. Then, what is absorption then? Absorption is what when one company goes into liquidation and if it is taken over by the another company, it is called as absorption. But with the latest development, with the court ruling, amalgamation and absorption is termed as the same. Now, let us go to what is the external reconstruction. External reconstruction is that when one company is liquidated and the same company with the same shareholders, more than 90% of them, and assets of the same company form a new company, it is called an external reconstruction. Okay. Now, in all the above cases, there are two companies involved. That is, one is a buying company, another one is a selling company. When there is a buyer and seller, there will be purchase price. That is called as purchase consideration. In other words, the amount paid by the purchasing company to the vendor company is called so. That is, the amount paid by the buyer to the seller. This is called as purchase price or purchase consideration. This purchase consideration is of four types: the net payment method, net asset method, lump sum method, and intrinsic value method. Let us see one by one in the next slide. Let us see net asset method. It is computed or calculated by taking into account all the payments that are made by the purchasing company to the vendor companies, equity shareholders, and preference shareholders alone. In other words, the sum of all the payment that are made by the purchasing company to the vendor companies, shareholders, equity shareholders, and preference shareholders only. This is called as purchase price. Okay, that is what is called net asset method for calculation of purchase price. Then, net payment method of purchase price. Then, net asset method. We'll see what is the net asset method. If the payment detail is inconclusive or incomplete, then the net payment method cannot be followed. In that case, we will follow the net asset method. Under this method, all the assets of the vendor company that is taken over by the purchasing company at agreed value, if any, less the payment that are made by the purchasing company to vendor company's liability is called the purchase consideration. Okay, so let us see what is the next slide. Lump sum method of purchase consideration. The lump sum method is to be paid to shareholders may be mentioned in the agreement directly. This lump sum is to be taken as a purchase consideration, eliminating the need to compute it. Okay. Now, intrinsic value method, the last method, the fourth method. Intrinsic value method or share exchange method, both are same. Under this method, the purchase consideration is ascertained on the basis of the ratio in which the shares of the purchasing company are exchanged with those of the selling company. The exchange ratio is generally determined on the basis of the intrinsic value of the respective company's share. Let us see what is the intrinsic value first. The intrinsic value means here net asset available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. Then let us see what is net asset available to equity shareholders. Now net asset available to equity shareholders is nothing but the asset must be taken at agreed value minus all the amount due to the third parties, and even preference shareholders must be reduced from the total assets to ascertain the net asset available to equity shareholders. Okay, so these are the way you should calculate the purchase consideration. Next slide. The types of amalgamation. There are two types of amalgamation. Amalgamation in the nature of merger or amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Amalgamation in the nature of merger. The amalgamation in the nature of merger is the amalgamation which satisfies all the five conditions. 1. The transfer of all the assets and liabilities. All the assets and liabilities of the transferor company, that is a vendor company, become after amalgamation the assets of the liabilities of the purchasing company. Then the same equity shareholders holding 90%. The shareholders holding at least 90% of the face value of the equity shares of the vendor company become equity shareholders of the purchasing company by virtue of the amalgamation. The third condition, the purchase consideration in equity shares. The consideration for the amalgamation receivable by those equity shareholders of the transfer, that is vendor company, who agree to become equity shareholders of the purchasing company is discharged by the transferee, that is the purchasing company, wholly by the issue of shares in the purchasing company, except the cash which may be paid in respect of any fractional shares. Okay, in that case, any fraction, if there is any in calculation, if there is any fraction, it will be paid through cash. Okay, then the same business, the fourth point. Okay, the fourth point is the business of the purchase vendor company is intended to be carried on after the amalgamation by the purchasing company. That should be there. Then recording of the assets and liabilities at book value. No adjustment is intended to be made to the books of the assets and liabilities of the vendor company when they are incorporated in the financial statement of the purchasing company, except to ensure uniformity of accounting policy. Okay, these are the 5 conditions to determine whether it is a merger, amalgamation in the nature of merger. Next slide. Now, amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Amalgamation in the nature of purchase is the amalgamation which does not satisfy any one of more of the conditions specified in the amalgamation in the nature of merger. Okay, then amalgamation methods. Explain the accounting treatment for the amalgamation in the nature of merger. There are 2 ways. One is pooling of interest method and the purchase method. Under the pooling of interest method, it should be used in accounting of amalgamation in the nature of merger. The salient feature of this method are as follows. Recording the assets and liabilities. Recording the assets and liabilities, that is the first point. That in preparing the purchasing company's financial statement, assets and liabilities of the vendor company should be recorded at their existing carrying amount and in the same form as at the date of amalgamation. The recording of reserves. How the reserves are treated here. The reserves should be recorded at their existing carrying amount and in the same form as the date of amalgamation. The recording balance of profit and loss account. The balance of profit and loss account of the vendor company should be aggregated with the corresponding balance of the transferee, that is purchasing company, to the general reserve, if any. Next slide. A purchase method now. The purchase method should be used in accounting of amalgamation in the nature of purchase. These salient features of purchase method are as follows. 1. The recording of the assets and liabilities. In preparing the purchasing company's financial statement, the assets and liabilities of the vendor company should be incorporated at their existing carrying amount, or alternatively, the consideration should be allocated to individual identifiable assets and liabilities on the basis of their fair value at the date of amalgamation. Then the second point, recording of statutory reserve, where the requirements of the relevant statute of recording the statutory reserve in the books of the purchasing company or compiled with statutory reserve of the vendor company should be recorded in the financial statement of the purchasing company. Now, the third point, recording of reserves other than statutory reserve. The reserves whether capital or revenue rising on the revaluation of the vendor company other than statutory reserve should not be included in the financial statement of the transferee, that is the purchasing company. The fourth point, balance of profit and loss account. The balance of profit and loss account of the vendor company, whether debit or credit, is identified. Next slide. Now let us see the journal entries in the books of purchasing company or a transferee company in the nature of merger. The first entry will be the purchase consideration. The first entry is nothing but the entry which is passed for the purchase consideration due, payable. The entry will be business purchase to liquidator of vendor company. The narration being the business being purchase consideration due or payable. Next entry, for the taken over of assets and liabilities. When the assets and liabilities are taken over, what the entry will be passed? All the assets of the vendor company one by one individually, to the liabilities of the vendor company one by one individually, to business purchase, to P&L, to reserves of the vendor company. Okay. The balancing figure will be adjusted with the reserve, a debit or credit. If the debit is more, the credit will be taken as reserve. If the credit is more, the debit will be taken as general reserve. Anyway, it will be adjusted only with the general reserve. Next. For settlement of debenture holders of the creditor or creditors of the vendor company, the entry will be the debentures of vendor company account data, creditors of vendor company account data to bank to debentures account. So this entry will be passed for settling the debentures or creditors of the vendor company. The next slide. For expense of winding up paid by the purchasing company, if the expense are paid by the purchasing company, then general reserve account data to bank. It will be the entry will be general reserve account data be bank. Then for formation expense paid by the purchasing company, then preliminary expense account data to bank in that case. Then for making payment to the liquidator of vendor company. In such a case, the first entry will be just reversed. The liquidator of vendor company account data, discount on issue of shares account data, to equity share capital, to security premium, to debentures, to bank. So this is the entry for settlement of purchase price in the journal entry if it is in the nature of merger. Now let us see what is the journal entry if it is in the nature of purchase. Now, journal entry in the books of purchasing company if it is in the nature of purchase, the first one. The first purchase, the same entry as it was there in the merger. Business purchase to liquidator of vendor company. There is no change here. The second entry is also there, but little changes are there. What is it? Let us see. All assets of the vendor company individually, separately, then two liabilities of the vendor company separately, to business purchase. Then here the debit or credit, whatever it is adjusted with the goodwill or capital. If the credit is more, the balance will be taken in the debit as goodwill. If debit is more, the balance of the credit will be taken as capital reserve. Here in the case of purchase method. If it is in the case of merger, it goes only with general reserve. Don't forget that. Okay. The difference here is in merger it is general reserve. In purchase method is goodwill or capital reserve. Okay. Then next one. For settlement of debenture holders and creditors, the same entry. Debenture holder account data, when creditors account data, to bank to debentures, the same as it was there. And for winding up expenses, there it was general reserve to bank. Here it is goodwill to bank. See the difference. If liquidation expenses are paid by the purchasing company, in the case of merger, you write general reserve account data to bank. In the case of purchasing method, purchase method, then it will be goodwill account data to bank. Then formation expense, same. There is no change in formation expense. Preliminary expense to bank over there, and same here as well. Preliminary expenses to bank. For statutory reserve of the vendor company to be continued, there is no such entry there in the case of merger. Okay, don't forget this. Amalgamation adjustment account data to statutory reserve. That is the entry you will pass. The last entry, final entry, same entry as it was there in the merger. Liquidator vendor company account data, discount on issue of shares account data, equity share capital to security premium to debentures to bank. Okay, so the same entry. So these are the entries of your, this is how you pass your journal entry in the books of purchasing company. Thank you. We'll see in the next video.